Yo, MixWizard here, and I've got another video for you. In yesterday's video, in my Mixing for Theatre video, one of the things that I had was using Custom Control app as a radio mic monitoring station for the radio mic techs. So I'm going to take a look at how to set that up and how that all works. So let's start with Custom Control app. So Custom Control app is a free piece of software. It's got an editor that allows you to build your own apps that can load up to an iPad or other various devices. Can be a computer even. So it's a great tool and it works with DLive, Vanis, AHM systems. So in this instance we're using it with the DLive. And because the DLive can also have multiple PAFL buses, what we're doing is we're utilizing an iPad, we're putting the PAFL bus or the PAFL channels of all of the radio mics onto that iPad, and the radio mic techs can then at any time solo the microphone and make sure, as they're fitting it to a cast member, make sure it sounds clean, make sure there's no crackles. They can also test the radio mic at any stage. I also put metering on there so they can see it metering to make sure that there's not a bad connection and the connection's not come loose. Okay, so they can see the metering of the microphone and they can PAFL it. A great resource if you're the radio mic tech on a show. So let's take a look at how you go about setting up this custom control app. So first off, the first thing is you download the custom control editor. So it's a free piece of software, it's on the Alan Heath site. So you download the editor and that's what you build it in. So let's have a look at how, it's pretty simple to build. So I'm just going to go to the layout editor, and what I have going in the thing is I have some buttons. So I'm going to drag in a button and I'm going to drag in a meter. And over on the right hand side straight away you can see that it's got assignments. So if I select the button, I want to make it a PAFL. And I want to make it input channel 1. Cool? So when I press the button, it's going to PAFL input channel 1. The meter, if I go to it, the meter already by default has gone, it's the first meter I dragged on, and it's on channel 1. The other thing to take note of is it's PAFL number 1. So the DLive's got multiple PAFL buses that you can set up on it. Vanis can do the same. So when I do this setup, PAFL1 bus goes to the iPad, and I set the console up with PAFL bus 2. So you can see here in the PAFL bus window of the console, it's set up as PAFL 2. We're going to take a look at that in a second because you have to get that right, otherwise it won't work properly. So I'm going to go and load my I'm going to open my layout, okay? So here's one that I've already built. So I've got 24 radio mics, faders, everything going on. So if I select radio mic 1, it starts at channel 41. So in this show, my first radio mic was channel 41 of the console. I had the band and all the other channels first. So I've gone and made that channel 41. The input meter will also be channel 41. So the input meter is the first radio mic channel, and the PAFL button is going to be my first radio mic channel. The other thing I've got going on, so that's 1 to 24, is I also have up here, I have metering, and I am selecting for the radio mic techs to hear, when they're not soloing something, they get the vocal subgroup. So as I turn channels up, they go into my vocal subgroup on the desk and then to the PA. So the same thing's happening to their PAFL bus. I've selected the vocal group to go to their speaker when they're not PAFLing something. So what that does for them is they can hear the vocal bus the whole time. So during the show, if I open a fader and the radio mic crackling or something's not right, instantly the radio mic techs on the show know. I don't have to tell them. They can hear it. They can then jump to their iPad app and press, normally they can see it. They can see the metering of what radio mic's freaking out. But if in doubt, they can sit there and solo it to find the mic that's broken. And by the time the cast member is coming off stage, they're standing there with a new lapel or headset or hairline mic to replace it, and we're moving on the show. I don't have to jump on comms and tell them that something's broken. I've given them the resource to know that it's broken, and I've given them the resource to help them solo and find out and fix the microphone. So I've built this app, okay, and it's as simple as my computer. All of these things, okay, they're just connected to the Ethernet ports on the MixBrain or the Surface, okay? One other thing, just is for interest, I'm using an Ethernet to Apple dongle to get to the iPad. I could be doing it wirelessly, but for this it works really well. They're a great tool. So once I've finished and I'm happy with my layout, I literally go upload, okay, and it comes up and says D Live Mix Rack, and I hit upload. And you'll notice it's going to go from my holding slide to now having the app on it, okay? And if I want to now, I can PAFL things, okay? I have my microphone here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as I said, when I set them up, they can have a speaker or they can have some in-ears and they PAFL something and it comes out their speaker and they can test it. Simple as that. Let's jump back and have a look at the console for a second. So the console's on PAFL 2. If I go and make it PAFL 1, now it's the same as the iPad. And if I PAFL here, you'll notice it's PAFL in the channel on the desk and vice versa, okay? So this is what you don't want. Now the PAFL buses are just mirroring each other. So console on PAFL bus 2, iPad on PAFL bus 1, and now they are two totally separate buses. Cool? It's a great tool. It's free, okay? I've seen people do some really cool things where on top of the buttons, they've embedded pictures of the cast. So you can just press the picture of the person that's standing in front of you. It's a little bit up to your own creativity, but this is a great tool. Yeah, it's free. Download it, start getting your head around it. If you do musical theatre, this is for you. So, see you in the next episode.